Good morning, class. Today we are going to be talking about television production. I'm going to introduce you to all the things they do behind the scene. Well, when I say behind the scene, what goes on behind the camera before you see either the presenter or you watch movies on your TV. So today we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the stages, how, for instance, a movie is being produced. While watching television as viewers, we are largely unaware of the production complexity, but professional television production, regardless of whether it is done in a television studio or in a field, is a complex creative process in which many people and machines interact to bring a variety of messages and information to a large audience. What this slide is trying to talk about is that before you sit back at home and see a movie or a movie that you watch, there are a lot of work that have been put behind, either on the field, either in a studio. For instance, the AIT we watch, the NTA, CNN, it has been done in the studio, and many people have worked together to put out the work. So even if the movie at times they travel to various destinations to produce it, depending on what they want to act. So let's talk about the TV production. Types of production stages. There are three types of production stages: the pre-production, the production, and the post-production. The pre-production stage. This stage includes everything you do before entering the studio or reaching the shooting location. For instance, there is a storyboard. That's like a guideline. You draw out what you want to do, you write out what you want to do, you give it to your characters. For instance, if you are producing a movie, you write out the scripts, you give it to the characters. You set everything in place, all the things you want to do. You call the actors, you discuss with them, you choose the location, your crew members, you arrange your videos, your audio tapes, the properties you want to use, the costumes, the clothes, the makeup, the set designer, everything. For instance, if you want to plant a farm, you look for a plot of land, you till your plot of land. If there is grass, you burn it. All those necessary things you put together before you start up. Either you plant a maize or you plant cassava. Those are what we call pre-productions. So why the production stage? This is the stage where you are on the studio floor or on a location and are ready to shoot or are actually shooting. The production stage, like the name implies, production, you are producing something. For instance, you've bought cement, you've bought sand, you've bought mixer, you've bought water, your workers are ready, you start building a house. That's the production. You start putting that thing into actualization. It is coming out as a plan that you've already drafted in your pre-production. So in this stage, everything, either you are in the studio or in your field or in the location where you want to shoot your movie. The post-production, this is the third stage of program production. It is the stage where you get the final shape of the program. Just like the way you garnish every food item to be presented on the dining table, it includes cutting the recorded visuals into appropriate lengths. Like the movies we see, it's not everything they acted on this on the field or on the location that they play out for us to watch. That's why you see the editor. Some people have sat down, rewatch it, then cut the parts. Maybe this actor did not do well, they will cut it out, they shape it into a particular form that it will suit the viewers. So they don't just bring all their mistakes or bring everything they've acted on the location. So this is the post-production stage whereby you finish everything you've planned, you drafted out your plan, you wrote out everything you want to do, then you've put your plan into actualization. You now come back and sit down and say, okay, let me check what mistakes are here, let me edit and correct. This is what we call the post-production. The TV production process. The TV production process, people, you don't just wake up and walk into the studio. You would have had a knowledge of what you are going to do there. For instance, even if you are to invite guests, if you are a presenter, you go on, before you go on air, even if before you bring a guest, you would have told the guest before time, like a day or two, depending on the kind of guests you're bringing. So you will tell the guests to get prepared on what he or she is going to be doing. The presenter too, you get prepared, the crew members, the cameraman, everything, the sound, you check and know that everything is okay before you sit down. So we the viewers will just see the actualization process, that's the production when everything has been done. But in TV production there are stages which I've already said: the pre-production where you draft out your plan, what you want to do. Then the production stage, that's the actualization where you've already put it into practice, you've done what you've drafted out in your pre-production. And the post-production where you still edit it to make it perfect, to make it unique for the viewers. We all know that in order to make a good food item, we need different materials like vegetables, utensils, knives, spoons, spices, water, oil, etc. Similarly, in order to make a television program, we need various equipment and people required to operate them for the production. Like I just said, we need various equipment. We need a cameraman, we need a costume manager, we need a makeup, we need a location, we need properties like chairs, everything. So just as we've made an example of food, if you want to prepare food, you can't just prepare food just like that. You need a kitchen, you need, if you want to prepare vegetable soup, you need vegetables, you need spoons, you need knives, you need spices, water, oil. So production stages too and TV production processes has those things. It has its requirement to operate them for the production of a specific kind of program. Let us now discuss the equipment required for the production process. TV production process: machinery and equipment that are required for production. We need a camera, we need lights, we need microphones, we need sound recorder, we need video tape recorder. Camera, like we need camera to video the people, we need lights. For instance, if you are shooting in the night, and most locations too, you might not necessarily be shooting in the night, you might just need the reflection of that light to make it unique. You need microphones to make it louder, you need sound recorder to record the presenter's voice or the TV, the person that's acting the movie's voice. You also need video tape. Camera: the most basic equipment in any and every production is the camera. In our lives, many of our friends must have used the camera for capturing various events. If you carefully look at any camera, you see a lens in it. This lens selects a part of the visible environment and produce a small optical image. The image is principally designed to convert the optical image as projected by the lens into an electrical signal, often called the video signal. Like what this slide is talking about is that we often use cameras, even in our phones, we have cameras, even the normal digital cameras we use in recording events. So in a TV production, we need the cameras which takes a particular environment or a picture of a particular person you want to. For instance, if it's a presenter and the guests, or a host and the guests, you can use your camera to video the particular people you want and the environment. When we talk about lights in TV production process, I want to ask, have you ever tried to see something in dim lights? It's difficult to see, isn't it? Now, imagine seeing in the dark. You must be wondering how it is possible to see in the dark. Just like the human eye, the camera also cannot see without a certain amount of light. There comes to the roles of light in television. There comes the roles of light in television production. Lighting any object or individual has three main purposes. Lightning in TV production process: it helps to provide the television camera with adequate illumination. When we say illumination, like let's say fluorescent, when you are in a dark place and they bring the light, you see the way everywhere will be bright. So where is with it the lights provide the television camera with adequate illumination for technically accepted pictures. Then what to show the viewers what the object shown on screen actually look like. Say for instance, if there was no light in the room, we would not have been able to see how the chair, table, or anything else for that matter will look like. Lights also help us know when the event is taking place in terms of the season and the time of the day. Like most movies, we see them and the lights will help us know that okay, they are shooting this movie at night. Then if it's in the day, we also know that they are shooting this movie in the day. So that's the work of the lights. Then the lights will help to establish general microphones. You may have seen a microphone being used by people to talk on various occasions. Microphones are used to talk on various occasions. Just like you have always done, why would you actually use microphone? Just as you have learned that the camera converts what it sees into electrical signals. Similarly, the microphone converts sound waves into electrical energy or the audio. With a sound recorder, you can select a specific microphone or other sound input, amplify a weak signal from a microphone or other audio source for further processing, control the volume and ensure the quality of sound, mix or combine two or more Videotape recorder. As we all know that television is an audiovisual medium. When we say audiovisual medium, you can hear the person and you can also see the person. That's what we mean by audiovisual medium. So we need to record both audio and visual components. While the sound, that is audio, is recorded on sound recorders, visuals are recorded on videotape in a videotape recorder. Videotapes are very necessary in TV production, in the sense that the presenter, you have to see the presenter and you have to hear the presenter too. So we use audio is recorded on sound recorders, while visuals, to see the person, you are recorded on videotape in a videotape. In summary, I would like to say the production process refers to the stages. When we say stages, phases, like steps, what you do, stages, steps that you take, that are required to complete a media product, from the idea to the final master copy. For instance, most of the movies we see, someone has the idea. You might have the idea, but you don't know how to put it down. You might tell it to somebody, and that's why we have the script writer. The person writes it down, then get other people, the type of production, including the film, video, television, and audio recording, that you get the crew member, every other person, then you put the work into together. So the production process has different stages. The stages in each medium vary. For example, there's obviously no storyboard in an audio recording. However, the same general concepts work for any medium. We've come to the end of our class. Any question, if you have any questions, send it to the platform and I'll be reading comments and replying to every question we have. Thank you. See you in next.